Hello students, welcome to EasyElimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So dear students, allow me take you through the language and styles that we have in the first act, scene 1 of The Samaritan by John Lara. But shortly, before we get to look at the stylistic devices that John Lara used in this scene, let us remind ourselves about what the scene is about. So, dear students, remember that Act 1, Scene 1 is about the failed award. So we are told in the that is in the scene that the setting is at Sagrada Secondary School Hall at around 10 a.m. So it is on. It is it is also during that is the end of year school closing day. So we have the teachers and the students who are seated, and the deputy, who is Mr. Kamona, walks in and goes straight to the podium. So for a moment there is silence. Then the deputy, that is Kamona, greets everyone, and the students respond in chorus. So what happens is that he informs all of them, that is the teachers and the students who are gathered at the hall, that the winning innovation in the year's secondary schools national innovation competition will be officially launched in the municipality. So the event will be presided over, by His Worship, that is the mayor, Mosi, Honorable Mosi. So also in attendance, there will be a few distinguished guests from, that is Maracas municipality. So it means that Mosi, His Worship Honorable Mayor Mosi, will be accompanied by some of the leaders we have in the municipality, that is Maracas municipality. So that is just a brief summary of some of the events that we have, not all, but some of the events that we have in scene 1, that is the first act, scene 1, the first act of the Samaritan. So dear students, let's focus on today's lesson, that is the language and style that is employed in scene 1 of Act 1. So let me just mention them very fast, then we will get time to delve into each, that is by looking at relevant illustrations and examples that we can use to support each style that we are able to identify. So we have imagery. So dear students, under imagery, we are going to look at hyperbole, vivid description, personification, simile, metaphor, and symbolism. So the styles that are highlighted, or that let me use the word highlighted. So the styles that are highlighted using a tick are all falling under imagery, because remember, imagery has something to do with the visual, that is use of descriptive language to create some mental picture or visual description, visual image of that is the thing, either the object, a person, or a thing that is being described. So we also have euphemism. There is also sarcasm. We will also talk about allusion. Apart from allusion, we also have rhetorical questions. Then there is also play within a play. Then there is also satire. We also have irony. There are some elements of irony in the scene. Then lastly, we will also talk about ellipsis. Now, let us begin by looking at the first style under imagery, that is hyperbole, also known as exaggeration or overstatement. So in the scene, Remember, we have the two students who are given a chance to explain to the audience the idea, that is the idea of the Samaritan app. So in their dramatization, or rather in what they are doing on the stage, Montano tells Alvita what he sees in future. That is the way Alvita's nose was running as though you had a drum of fluids in the middle of the head. That is as though Alvita had a drum of fluids in the middle of the head. So there are some elements of exaggeration in the words chosen, because you know the size of a drum, you know the size of a human's head. So there is no possible way that a drum of maybe fluid or any other liquid can fit into the head. So there is some exaggeration. So Montano also tells Alvita that you had a fertile imagination. So remember, imagination is like a fantasy. So it is not easy to tell whether a fantasy is fertile or infertile. So that is also another instance or element of exaggeration. So Nicole also tells the students that what an overheated imagination. So that is the explanation is close to the one that we have talked about in the previous illustration, that is having a fertile imagination. So Nicole also talks about a overheated imagination. So in Moses' statements, he says, I would especially be delighted if the medicine for regenerating my body cells was discovered today. That would enable me live for 422 more years. So remember, this he says also sarcastically. That is when responding to to some of the things that uh, Montano and Alvita says. That is the imagination of coming up with a technology where the human cells, human body cells can be regenerated so that humans live for a longer period of time. So Mosi also shares that I accidentally swallowed a whole toothpick. So it is also not easy to swallow a toothpick, and that is what also brings another element of exaggeration. All right, now another illustration is that Nicole's movement is exaggerated. So we are told that is as she walks, that her sharp footsteps can be heard reverberating in the corridor like castanets. So the sound produced by the sharp footsteps is uh, compared, that is to the castanets, and it is exaggeratively used because the two cannot produce, similar, reverberating, sounds. So that is also another element of exaggeration. So there is also vivid description still under imagery. So the scene is introduced with an in-depth description of the setting. So we are told that chairs and tables are arranged in 3 rows with the 2 passageways, one on the either side of the middle row. So Nareen is also described as motherly, tall, plump lady in her late 50s. That is also using a language that is, visually descriptive, that enables the readers create some image in their mind about the object or person that is being described. So Nicole is portrayed as she's dressed in her trademark style, comprising flowery Banarasi silk, sari, and a headscarf. So further description shows Nicole as a young, tall, light-skinned lady of medium build, a renowned beauty, and an uncompromising moralist. So Meyer is also described as a tall, heavy man uh, called Mosi. So Nicole, again, is described as, we are told that she is sporting a wavy side ponytail hairstyle and is smartly dressed in a black skirt and a white blouse. So both, that is the principal, Nareen and Nicole, have been vividly described, that is looking at their outward appearance. Remember, the first we talked about Nareen by saying that she is described as motherly, tall, plump lady in her late 50s. And again, the dressing code is also, described into details. So the next time that we have, dear students, is personification. So remember, these are, giving ideas or objects the characteristics or the qualities of humans. So under personification, we are told that Montano tells Alvita that, her nose was running. So literally, looking at it literally, the nose do not have legs. And we all know that ain't no way they can run. So Montana also informs Alvita that you had a fertile imagination. So imagination, we cannot talk about fertility in imagination. Imagination is imagination, or rather fantasy. So Basdeo also says, remember, Basdeo is the chief opposition leader, so of the Maracas municipality. So he says that it will be a delicious new dawn in our islands. So that is also another example of personification in the story. So there is also a simile. We are told, remember, simile is a comparison, that is by use of the words like or as. So we are told that you just send a text message on the app and it spreads like a wild bushfire. So we have got the message spreading like a wild bushfire. So that is the way or the manner in which the message is spreading is compared to the bushfire that we know spreads very fast. So we are also told that her sharp footsteps can be heard reverberating in the corridor like castanets. I think these were Nicole's footsteps being described. So apart from that, we also have another illustration where we're told that people are slaughtered like chicken. So we can try look at how people normally slaughter chicken before preparing them for a meal, and again how there are injustices and people being murdered brutally like animals. So that is that. So there is also metaphor. So metaphor is also a comparison, but it is a comparison of two things that are not alike. So Montano tells Alvita that you had a fertile imagination. So those two things are not alike. So there is also symbolism. So that is use of symbols. So symbols could either be objects, people, or anything that represents, that gives a representation of the message that is conveyed. So Montano says that we better discuss which side of the fence that bird will fly when it eventually decides to fly. So the bird, the bird in this in their story represents the municipal leaders who have to make the decision for the state and citizens. So there is also another style, dear students, that is sarcasm. So under sarcasm, we are told that Moses sarcastically says he would especially be delighted by the medicine for regenerating his body cells if it was discovered today. So that would enable him live for 422 more years. So Mosi also sarcastically refers to the Samaritan Act as an incredible innovation that they have to discuss the way forward of it after students leave, only to tell them that he will not continue with this thing. So the deputy mayor, that is Ramdai, says they might spread another rumor on the platform and Mosi may swallow another toothpick. So remember, there's a point where Mosi, talks about some hearsays, some hearsays and rumors way back about his death that made him, swallow a whole toothpick, and the rumors almost, became reality. So Ramdai sarcastically says that, the Samaritan app may or might, spread another rumor, and the mayor may swallow another toothpick. So with a sarcastic grin, we are told that Mosi comments on Basdev's delicious smell of the new dawn as it is the smell most likely of berries or corn on cobs. They are delicacies for occupants. So another style that we can also talk about is allusion. Remember, allusion is the direct, that is indirect reference to something or someone. So Alvita says they named the Samaritan after the parable of the Good Samaritan narrated in the Good Book. So this now brings us to biblical allusion. That is drawing some reference from the Bible. Mhm. To help explain better what the Samaritan app does and what it is all about. So there is also the use of rhetorical questions. So Montano asks Alvita the possibility of better change. So that is seen when he says, "What will all these criminal gangs in the what with all these criminal gangs in the municipality?" So that is a rhetorical question. It is a rhetorical question. It needs no response. So Alvita also asks Montano, "Haven't you read about decision-making algorithm?" Mhm. So Alvita again asks, "What is so special about developing an artificial police officer or judge?" So that is also a rhetorical question. So we also have a play within a play. So in a play within a play, Alvita and Montano showcase the future and the imagine of a world of despair with a degraded environment, malnourishment, crime, and poverty, contrasted with a world where technology brings hope in the judicial sector and human lifespan too. So remember, when they are given the chance to now showcase the future, that is talk about the app, they uh, come up with a story that takes us into the future. So in their story, they imagine a world of despair with a degraded environment, malnourishment, crime, and poverty. So another style that we also have, dear students, is satire. So under satire, we are told that the mayor and his leaders reject the best incredible project of the Samaritan aimed to change the municipality and the situation of citizens. So within few minutes, Mosi releases students and tells the principal and students that they will not proceed with the rewarding. So they reject what is best for the municipality, because they are afraid that uh, you know they are eventually or finally going to be exposed, and they will not have chances again to steal from members of the public. So the play within a play is also a satire of what may happen in the future. That is, suppose the leaders uh, do not take care. So Montano also tells Alvita that their country has been producing graduates every year that than the jobs it is able to create. So that also we can also talk about unemployment, the theme of unemployment or education. We have very many graduates, but are unable to be absorbed in the job market. So we also have irony. So it is ironical that Mosi, the mayor, says he had an express mandate given to him by the people of Maracas to protect their public interest, yet he has an intention of blocking the advancement of the Samaritan app innovation that could save them. So, dear students, the last style that we are looking at is ellipsis. So remember, ellipsis is an omission of words that is introduced or represented by a set of dots. So in what Piro says, remember Piro is he is the chairman of the local school board. So he says, "Pardon me, your worship." So he addresses his worship Miyamosi, but they cannot overrule the minister. Then before he completes, remember he is interrupted. So Mosi also stammers when talking to Nicole that she should figure a way. Then again, there are a set of dots indicating that there are words omitted. And Father says that in it that you need to attend to, again, the omission of words. Get get what I mean, and all that. So, dear students, thank you, and thank you once more for watching till the end and keeping it easy. Alimu, until next time, once again, I'm your teacher, Stanley Peter Mbogo. Bye.